Hey, you have Patrick Findaro here with Vetted Biz. In today's video, we're going to go through how a franchise works. So if you've heard of franchising, you've been to McDonald's, you understand that franchising can be applicable to food, but most franchises are actually not food businesses. And yes, it is a big part, 40% plus of the franchise market, but the majority are services and in other sectors of the economy. So essentially, franchising is a part of licensing where you're essentially borrowing the brand, the operational know-how, all the contacts with the suppliers, and for some concepts, they're even giving you customers to serve. So that could be for a 5-year, 10-year period, 20-year period where you're able to own and operate under their business model, under their brand, leverage their technology. And the idea is that instead of a startup business, it's much easier to know how much capital is needed, when you're going to open up, when you're going to break even, and when you're going to hit substantial income and replace that paycheck you were getting in corporate America. So there's some great benefits of franchising, but it's important to understand that you're essentially borrowing their business model. It's not forever. You can always renew it, but you don't own that business outright. You're signing an agreement for 5, 10, 20 years. And to my knowledge, there's no indefinite franchise agreements where you own the right to that brand, that technology indefinitely. There might be some partnership opportunities directly with the franchisor, but that's essentially how franchising works. You're paying for the right to borrow the operation, the know-how, all those benefits of franchising, but generally across the board, you're the one that's hiring, training, firing. They might help out a lot with training. They'll give you tips on hiring, tips on firing, but you're driving that process as well as you're the one dealing with the customer. You might be also having to do sales, or in some organizations, the franchisor has a call center and they're getting the leads, they're getting the client booked, and you're just focusing on servicing the client and building your team and scaling up and open up subsequent locations. So in a nutshell, that's how franchising operates. That's how franchising works. It can work very well with the right business model for the right franchisee, and it can work very bad with the wrong business model. Across the board, a bad business model is going to be bad pretty much for everyone, but especially with an operator that has no prior success, isn't driven to grow the business, isn't hungry. It's hard. You're not just going to have success in franchising if you haven't had prior professional academic success. Yes, you can hit it big in franchising and hit your stride, and maybe you struggled in your last position, but don't expect that all of a sudden you're going to walk in and you're going to be very successful with that franchise brand. You have to be realistic, and you have to talk to other franchisees in that franchise that you're looking to explore to see if you're compatible, if they kind of had a similar profile to you, and see how they're doing financially. So in a nutshell, that's how franchising works. It can be a great business model, especially for first-time entrepreneurs.